Hey everybody, my name is Deja. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first time filming a video for YouTube, and I've always kind of wanted to do YouTube, but I've just been so nervous to like put myself out there to the public. But I'm just at a point in my life now where I want to do things that I've always desired to do, and YouTube has been one of them. And so for my first video, I decided that I was gonna do a story time about the time that I found out I was pregnant. And yeah, I am currently 7 months pregnant right now with my baby girl. And yeah, the way I found out was like kind of crazy too, so I'm just gonna kind of tell you about like that, like how I found out, reactions from my family and stuff. So yeah, let's just get into it. So as you can see from the title, I actually found out that I was pregnant when I turned 18. It was like actually like the day after my birthday that I had found out, but I'll kind of just start at the beginning, I guess. So it was the summertime and I had just graduated from high school, like had just decided which college I was going to be going to. Like I was living life, with my friends, having a great time. I was with my child's father at the time, who was my boyfriend at the time, and things were good. But then on the 1st of July, my baby's dad had moved to Atlanta to transfer to a college up there from the college he was going to back at home. And I was actually supposed to be moving up here to Atlanta as well, because I go to school in Atlanta too, but I wasn't gonna be moving until like a month later. So I had kind of planned on already spending my birthday with him though, so I was planning on like taking a trip that next week after he had moved for my birthday weekend. But like the week, like basically that whole week up until I had went there, and the week prior, like is when all these like strange pregnancy symptoms had like hit me. So like it was crazy. Like I was just so emotional, like before he was leaving. I was just like y'all, I was crying every day. I was like at work, I would be having like meltdowns and stuff, like having to literally go to the bathroom because like I was just, I don't know, feeling depressed and everything. I was like snappy, like I was snapping on like people too, and that's not even like me, but like I was. And it was also difficult because like my child's father was gone in Atlanta, and like that was our first time like being away from each other like for so long, that like it was like a week before I had came down there, but it was just kind of difficult. But it was like arguing and bickering a lot, and I was just like, this is not like us. I was just so emotional, and like it was so many signs to like, I just like started thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, like I don't know, like I'm feeling very strange like emotionally. And then like another pregnancy symptom that I was having was that like at the time, I think I was like, I was eating a lot of like spicy food. Like I was just eating anything like spicy and stuff, and it was just so weird. I had an app on my phone that I used to track my periods all the time, and it's crazy because this one cycle in particular, is when I didn't track my period. So like I was actually late, and I'm thinking like in my head that like my period was, oh, like I still have a few more days for my period to come. And then after like just all this weird emotions like that I was having and cravings, I was like, oh my gosh, like let me just check my app and see like when my period is supposed to come on. And I was like, is this like, this says that I'm like late, like a couple of days late. And I was like, this can't be right. But I didn't really pay much mind to it, I guess, because you know I was just so focused on like work. Like I was working a lot so I could have like money saved up to like go to Atlanta. You know, I was focused on like my relationship. Like I was just worried about like, you know, making plans for like my birthday and like, you know, just everything, because it was a big birthday. Like I was excited, and so I kind of like pushed it to the back of my head. But each day getting closer to like when I was supposed to be leaving for Atlanta, I kind of just knew in my head. I was like, okay, like I could be pregnant. Like I didn't take a pregnancy test or anything, but like I kind of just thought I was pregnant. But like I didn't want to say anything to my baby's dad like when we were talking, but it was just like an urge that I had every time, like if we were like bickering or something. Like I just wanted to tell him like, oh my god, this is why I'm so emotional, this is why I'm like overreacting or whatever. Like, but I wasn't sure exactly, but it was also kind of like an internal thing, like I knew. But yeah, so basically I remember I went to Atlanta finally, like for my birthday, and I think it came up in conversation probably the first night that I was there, maybe that like my period was late. And that also wasn't like a normal thing for me. Like my periods were usually like pretty regular. If anything, like if it would be late, like it'd probably be late by like a day or two. But like at this point, I think I was like 4 days late by the time I had went to Atlanta. And so like, you know, I told him, but like it wasn't like a big deal. Like I don't think either of us really made a big deal about it. You know, I kind of just like, yeah, like I'm late. You know, I was expecting my period to like come on the trip and stuff, and it was kind of just in the back of my head, like definitely. And so yeah, like every day that I was there, it was like in the back of my head. And so I kind of just pushed it aside because like, you know, my baby's dad had like had all these things, you know, that we like planned, I guess, for my birthday that I wanted to do. My birthday came, and my whole birthday went by like really well. Like I had so much fun like with my baby's dad and stuff. Like, you know, everything was really fine. But like it wasn't in the back of my head. Like I wasn't thinking like, oh my god, I'm pregnant. Like it wasn't a thing in the back of my head for real. But I remember on my birthday we had went out to a restaurant and I made a joke to him. I was like, yeah, like you're gonna be a dad. And he was like, do you have something to tell me? And I was just like, no. But it was like, I don't know, like I had a feeling, like a crazy feeling that I was pregnant. Like I don't know why, but I just felt that. And I don't even know why I made the joke, but we were just talking and I had made the joke, and I was like, dang, like that was the only time like during my birthday, like my actual birthday, that I thought like, okay, like girl, you could be pregnant. But the next day, I think it was just like okay, all this speculation and stuff, it was just really getting to me, and I was just like, all right, like I want to take a pregnancy test. So we went to the store and we got 2 tests. And because I was just like I told him, I was talking to him and I was like, I think we should just go get a test, because it was just easier for me, because I'm the type of person, like if I think something, like I'll fester on it for a long time. And that's what I was doing. Like I was literally psyching myself out. Like every day that kept going by that I wasn't getting my period, I was just like, oh my god, I'm pregnant. Like, but then I was like, maybe I'm not. Maybe there's a reason why that, you know, it's not coming on. Because I was having these these cramping like feelings like in my abdomen area. That's what was really like kind of tripping me out. Like I was so y'all, like I was moody like during those days that I was down there in Atlanta. Like I think like the next day after my birthday, when we had went out, like we went to a botanical garden and stuff, and we did a lot of walking around. Like we went to the museum and everything, like all these things that I wanted to do, and it was a lot of walking, and it was so hot. And I was so tired. I was drained. Like I was just feeling all this cramping like constantly, and I didn't know like what it was. And keep in mind, like I was feeling the cramps like before I came to Atlanta, and I'm thinking, okay, like my period's gonna come on, and it never did. And I also kind of just thought like my reasoning for the cramping was like my PCOS. Like, you know, I had went to my gynecologist, and they had just diagnosed me with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so often I would have like random like cramping pain like on my left side because I had like all the cysts on my left ovary and stuff, and that's kind of where I was having the cramps at. And I was thinking that it was because of my PCOS, and I was like, maybe that's it. But it just kept like continuing, and like my period just never came. And so, you know, once again, like we had, me and my baby's dad, we had gotten to like a little disagreement at botanical garden just because I was like moody and like I wasn't enjoying myself. I don't know why. And after leaving botanical garden and stuff the day after my birthday, when we were out, I was just kind of like, okay, we should just go get the test. It was a box of 2 pregnancy tests, and I wanted to wait until the next, like the morning, to take the test. I think I can't remember if I took it that night or in the morning, but I feel like I waited till the morning time to take it because I know like HGC levels are like higher in the morning, like your first morning urine. So like we went ahead and got the test the next day, and like it was just so heavy on my mind. Like I just was ready for the next morning so that I could like take the test. So we went and got the test on July 11th. My birthday was the day before. And then so on the 12th, I think, the morning of the 12th is when I woke up in the morning and I took the first pregnancy test. And I may like insert pictures of stuff, maybe, because obviously I took pictures of the pregnancy test. I may insert it, but I took the first one and I waited for the line to come. Like I wasn't trying to look at it for real, like, you know, I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna take it and then sit it somewhere and then just like look at it in a few minutes. And I mean, I have taken pregnancy tests before in the past, and you know, usually that one line like shows up like super quick and it'd be super dark, and it was just always just one line. Like it was never like a thing of like, oh, is it a faint line? Like no, it was always one line. And with this test, like I took it, and you know, I'm getting myself cleaned up and stuff, and I sat it down, and like I look over at the test like a couple seconds later, and like it's already that one line that I said, like that super dark one line. And then I'm looking at it, and like I'm literally watching a second line. I'm watching a second line like faint, super faint though, like start to appear. And I just remember like my heart kind of dropped a little bit, and I thought like I was dreaming. I was like, wait a second, like it's a second line on this test, like you are, no. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, there's no way. So I was just like, oh my god, like I'm pregnant. And then I went and I showed it to my baby's dad, and he was just like, oh, like, I think he was definitely in denial. Like, he was just like, oh, like, maybe something's wrong with the test, I don't know. And you know, when I saw the test, I was like, oh, like, I'm pregnant, like, this is pregnant. And he was like, no, like, you know, this could be like defective and stuff. And I was like, okay, maybe so. I was like, maybe that is the case because the lines like were opposite, I don't know. I was like googling positive pregnancy tests. Some popped up just like mine, and like there were pregnancy tests too that were false, and they looked like mine too, so I didn't know. And I remember sending the test to my sister, and I was like, is this like a positive test? And she was like, yeah, like that's definitely a positive test. But I still had the other tests in the box that I had to take, and I was actually leaving the next day, so I was just like, okay, well, I'll just take the next test in the morning like before I leave and go back home. And yeah, so like the next morning I did the same thing. Like, I took the test and it literally looked the same. Like, if anything, I think the second line was like, you know, I think it was a little darker. Like, the faint like positive line, I think it was a little darker, like, you know, the next day. So, you know, I showed it to him and he was like, oh, like, I still don't know. Like, you know, he wasn't positive, but the test was, so I don't know. But anyways, I was just like, okay. And I remember the day before too, I know I'm like jumping back and forth, but I'm just trying to remember everything. I have mom brain right now. I literally be forgetting so much stuff. But and this was 7 months ago, so like I'm trying to remember everything verbatim, and it's kind of difficult. But anyways, bear with me. The day before, I remember I had went ahead and scheduled an appointment with my gynecologist just to like literally go get an ultrasound. Like, I scheduled an appointment for an ultrasound to see like, you know, confirmation, like actual confirmation, because I mean, an ultrasound isn't gonna lie, like, but a pregnancy test could. But you know, I still felt like deep down in my heart, I was like, no. I was like, there have been too many signs, like too many like weird feelings, like no, like I think all of this is because I'm pregnant, like for real, for real. So anyways, I went back home, and the appointment for my gynecologist appointment that I had made, I think it was the next day after, or no, I think it was like 2 days after I had got back home. I couldn't wait, y'all. Like, I could not wait those 2 days until my next appointment. I was like, you know what? I am gonna go get like a clear blue test, the one that's digital that says like clearly like either not pregnant or pregnant. And so I went and got one. I went and bought it, and I took it, and sure enough, it said pregnant. And I sent that to him, and I sent it to my sister, I think, and I sent it to like my best friend too, and she was like, oh my god, like, yeah. I was freaking out, I'm not gonna lie to you. The next day came around, and it was time for my gynecologist appointment. And you know, I was talking to my baby's dad about it and stuff, and like I said, like I was back at home, and he was still like in Atlanta, and he literally drove all the way from Atlanta to come back home. And that's like not even a short distance drive. It's like 3.5 hours like from Atlanta back home. And so he drove to like be there for me for my appointment, to like see everything and stuff. And yeah, so now let me talk about the appointment. So it was so nerve-wracking. Like, we both went in there for the first part, you know, like you take a urine sample, weigh yourself and everything, check blood pressure, standard stuff, like getting you prepped to go into the ultrasound room. And so it was 2 nurse ladies in there, and they were like, so like, do you think you're pregnant or something? Like, she's over there, like I'm watching her like with my pee in a cup, like testing it, like doing the pregnancy test and stuff. And they were like, so do you think you're pregnant or something? And like, you know, and I was like, yeah, like I was explaining everything that I just said, like all the symptoms that I was having. I told her I took some tests and they said pregnant and everything. And she was like, okay. And she was like, okay, so you are pregnant. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. It was kind of just like a, oh my God, like it's 100% confirmed now. Like, they just told me I'm pregnant. And they were like, yeah, so you are pregnant. The test didn't lie. Like, they were like, you're definitely pregnant. And they told me this, like, they're doing everything, like getting me checked in and stuff like that. Like, and so they told me this right before they took my blood pressure. They probably had to take it like 3 or 4 different times because my heart was racing. Like, I was so nervous. I was all kinds of emotions. Like, I was sweating. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I was nervous, laughing and everything. They were like, we get it, we get it. They were like, calm down. They were like, do you want him, my baby's dad, to come like into the room, like to calm me down and stuff? And I was like, no, like I'm fine. Like, you know, I finally had calmed down enough to get like an accurate blood pressure. And like immediately when I could like get my phone, I messaged him because he was sitting outside in the waiting room, and I was like, it's a baby. Like, he was like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? I think he was a little confused. But when they had moved me into the ultrasound room, they went and got him, and like, you know, he was in there. They showed me the baby. I was 5 weeks pregnant when I went in there. So you know, she was like, yeah, looks like you're about 5 weeks. And then they had gave us a due date for my baby girl, and it was March 17th. And my baby's dad is, his birthday is March 18th and stuff. So like, it was like kind of a moment where we like kind of both laughed, and I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. It would have been even crazier, I think, if her birthday was like on his birthday. But yeah, it was just like a very surreal feeling when she was doing the ultrasound. I think we were both kind of just like, oh my God, like this cannot be happening. But like, no, it's real life. It's really a baby. Like, it's really happening. And yeah, like, you know, it was like bittersweet, I think, of course, because it was an unexpected like pregnancy. Like, we both weren't, you know, like ready for this. Like I said, like the timing of this was so crazy. Like, I had just turned 18. Like, I was so excited to like come to Atlanta, like with him and stuff, to like start college, like, and everything. I was just like, now what am I gonna do like with my life, you know? And of course there was conversation about like options and like, you know, what we wanted to do and stuff. And you know, I think it was pretty evident, like in the beginning, like how my baby's dad felt. Like, I think we were definitely, well, he was more set on like, okay, like, you know, so what are we gonna do about it? And I think I was kind of more like just considering everything. Like, I wasn't set like on, oh my God, like I'm pregnant, like this is not the right time, like I have to get rid of this baby and stuff. Like, I wasn't thinking like that. Like, I was definitely considering like both options. I was just like, oh my God, like what do I do? Like, I don't know. Like, I had to think about it. And you know, I think for him it was definitely like a thing of like, oh my God, like we need to get rid of this baby because we're both not ready for it. But you know, it was just something, I think, like, I feel like any like teen mom, or like any mom period, who like gets pregnant unexpectedly, it's like, it's not like a easy decision of like anything at all, because either decision that you make is gonna like affect your life indefinitely. Like if you decide to get rid of your baby or whatever, it's gonna stay with you like for the rest of your life. You may not think it, but it might. I mean, for some people it may not, I don't know. But just knowing myself and knowing how I was just like, oh my god, like if I make this decision to get rid of this baby, like I'm literally, it's gonna affect me so much. You know, the decision to keep a child too is like also something that will live with you for the rest of your life. Literally, you will have to take care of for the rest of your life. So, you know, it was definitely a big decision for me. Like it wasn't something that like I had decided in one day at all. Like it was something that I thought about for like a while, like some weeks after that, honestly, before like I had finally decided and stuff. But yeah, like that was it. That was how like I found out that I was pregnant, you know, and like my boyfriend's reaction and stuff. And you know, like overall, it, you know, we were obviously a little polar like in how we felt about it, which like I don't like fault or anything. I feel like it's typical, like it's normal for, you know, people to feel like that, like, you know, especially the dad, like, you know, to feel like, okay, like, you know, well, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna get rid of it or what? Like, you know, but I think it's normal like for guys too to feel like that. So, you know, but obviously, you know, 7 months later I'm pregnant, very pregnant. So you know, and we're both excited about it. I didn't want this video to be like too long, so like I didn't get into like me telling my mom or like, you know, anybody else besides like, you know, my sister when I had showed her the test, and like, you know, my baby's dad. So I don't know, we'll see how this video does, and I'll probably make another video, like I guess of just everybody's reactions, like family and stuff, and like I don't know, just any more like questions or topics like about, you know, my life now, like, you know, because I want to talk about that. Like I want to share, you know, moving forward how life is, like, you know, being like pregnant, being in school still, like being in college, because obviously, you know, I'm still wanting to go to school, working also, so like being a full-time student and also working, and also living on campus, because I had already had that all set up to live on campus basically. So yeah, just talking about that, you know, more in detail. So yeah, like that is my story about how I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope, you know, y'all found it, you know, entertaining or whatever, or if anyone else who finds this video just found out they're pregnant and stuff, I hope it was like a little comforting in some way for y'all. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. So yeah, stay tuned for more content from me. Bye.